Go to the horizontal type tool in the Tools panel of Photoshop. Select the font, also select the size, maybe 200, something fairly substantial, and also set a colour, maybe grey, blue, green, etc. and click the document. Now with that, I'm just going to type some text. So more text. And you could create a long bit of text, maybe very short. You can also resize it if you want as well. You can also add effects, so just go to Layer and Layer Style, and maybe go for, say, a drop shadow, as well as maybe a stroke. I'm just going to go with black, so you can just see it very more clearly. And you can set the size for that. Click OK. Now I want to remove the background, so I'm just going to bring over the Layers panel here. See the Layers panel, and I'm just move the background, just for now. Because what I want to do is I want to use here the rectangular marquee tool. I'm going to select that text. So just create that select around there. Make certain you obviously don't cut off the shadow. So make it slightly bigger than obviously the design. Then go to Edit menu, and I want to define it as a pattern. So I'm just going to store it as a pattern preset so I can use it in the fill command. So define as pattern. Click OK. And of course I could create any other text. I could create other effects to it. I could apply other effects as well, like blurs, etc. So now what I'm just going to go back. So I'm just going to go back, remove that text. Don't want it now. And just move this out of the way. Now I could just go to a layer menu and create a new layer. If you want to use it on a layer, you can do that. But you can also just now go to Edit, and you go down to Fill. And you've got a number of options here. You've got content, you've got foreground, back, colour, but pattern. The one you want, pattern. Select that, and you can see I already got one already there. So I'm just going to select that one. Now that's the pattern preset that we just created. So there, select it, and make certain the script is on. And I'm going to go with Symmetry Fill. There's a number of others, Brick Fill, Crossword, they're all excellent. All Random Fill, brilliant, Spiral, but Symmetry Fill. And that creates some really lovely, you've got 32 different types of symmetry, so a lot to explore. Blending mode, normal, opacity, well I've got 50 there. I'm going to set it to 100. I'm not certain why I hit 50 there, but however, I'm going to put it to 100. Unfortunately, it's one of these ones where you've got two panels. So click OK there, and then you go into here. And the reason I went for grey was it gives you the full range of colour. So I've got here colour randomness, brightness randomness. If you go for, say, a red colour, so if you made your text red, you'd end up with a lot of red there, which you may want. You can always add, of course, adjustment layers if you want to recolour it again afterwards. So don't have to go. However, the preview doesn't always match the end result. So you will see this here. Now, the end result probably won't match it. Sometimes does, sometimes it doesn't. Now, there's loads of different symmetries here. Some are good, some are not. So you can see here, translation. I mean, they're all, again, the previews don't always match. That's an interesting one. I'm not certain what use is that. However, there's some really good ones. This one, 13, you can see you can create some nice hexagon sort of ones. I think it's quite nice. And so on. You can see the sort of thing. However, the one I want, number 7. So number 7 just gets it all going from that central position. All the text is just coming out. And you can modify the pattern scale. You can turn around and say, I want it to be 1. So it crunches it in very small. Maybe make it 0.5. So it makes it even smaller. You can only, unfortunately, go up to 1.25. Don't know why they put that restriction on. Not certain why it couldn't have been 5 or 10. It would have been really great if it had. And also you can modify this pattern translation long width. And you can vary it. So you just change it and you can see what happens. You get different. Be nice if there was a randomizer, because sometimes you just hit upon one and you think, oh, that's really good. And you can move backwards and forwards. And I'm just going to go with 1, but just go with -48, -92 as much as anything. Colour randomness 1 and 1. Again, that's why I went for the grey. Click OK. And then you can see the design you get there. And you can always apply it again. If you want to apply it again, you think, you know what? Edit, fill, wasn't happy with that. Oh, I can just click there again. Again, it comes to the second panel. Maybe change it. Maybe make it 1 this time. Just apply it again. And you can see it just applied again. And so on. You can apply it a couple of times. Also, we can do image menu, adjustments. And you've got all these options here. Hue saturation. So you decide, you know what, I want to recolor it. You can see just run through and recolor it. Maybe apply effects. So just go to filters, blur, Gaussian blur, just blur it. You see that blurred? What you can do, edit and fill. just go over here, pattern again, makes sense there, script is on, symmetry fill, use the same pattern, click OK, and maybe change the setting there, click it again, and you can see you can build up sort of layers with the blurriness effect behind, as well as obviously the sharp impact there. And of course you can always then go to other filters, stylize, oil paint say, apply a nice oil paint effect, that creates it nicely in the center there, and you apply it, just change the settings there, maybe apply it a couple of times and you can see it nice swirl colour, oil paint again, and so on and so on. So you can create all kinds of different designs from text. So you've got text sort of smearing as it sort of rotates through there. I think that's really quite a beautiful design. And if you want to, image menu, adjustments, go for vibrance, just boost it up. I always find that the oil paint, for some weird reason, always makes it look a bit duller. And it's a pity there's no control within oil paint to manipulate the colour, so you can just boost it up a bit to make it look brighter again. And of course you can tweak it again. Could have done it on a layer. On a layer it means you could have then blended them as well. And you can always again edit and fill, pattern, symmetry again, click OK, run it again. And then of course edit, fade, fill. You can always fade it. So you can always just run through here, multiply, and you can see you can create overlay, variety of different designs just by going through. Some better than others, maybe difference. Click OK, and so on. There's an awful lot of things just with very basic text you can create with this approach. Hope you found this of interest. Thank you much.